Okay, Eula, I'm gonna be brutally honest about this, but the culture of your family is a disgrace. And it is absolutely no mystery to me why they were overthrown. They're still acting as if they control everything, when they are de facto, well, second-class citizens, spat upon by the common people. I mentioned before that it kind of makes me curious about Barbados, about Venti, and what he thinks of the Lawrence clan, and whether or not he would do anything to help or hinder them. And since I have D-Luke here, kind of, I would be interested to hear his full thoughts on Eula in particular. So, matter of fact, I can do a small bit with him at the moment. Let's see, I think there's an entry on Eula in here. There we go.
Ah, yes. I've heard about her. She has her own convictions. Her determination to liberate herself from the shackles of her clan is praiseworthy. But she's joined the Knights of Favonius.
Okay, so what I gather from that is that D-Luke has not actually met Eula. Not explicitly, at any rate. Which makes me wonder how they'd get on, how they would interact if they did meet. On the one hand, Eula is a knight of Favonius, in which case they wouldn't get on entirely because of the fact that, again, they're kind of, well, I wouldn't necessarily say enemies because of the Knights of Favonius thing. More, I would say that D-Luke would probably hold her in contempt, as he does all the knights. Except perhaps for Jean. So, there would be a bit of strife there. But then, I would also have to wonder about how Eula would react to D-Luke. So, on the one hand, D-Luke was a knight of Favonius once, a captain in their ranks. So, on the one hand, they would be former colleagues, both having been, or presently being, knights, in the case of Eula. But then, I have to consider that D-Luke is the descendant of the Dawn Knight, the one of the people directly responsible for overthrowing Decarabia, the last king of the line of Lawrence. So, considering D-Luke's heritage, I would be tempted to say that Eula would be, technically speaking, a blood enemy against D-Luke. But, of course, the same would be true for the Knights, considering they were founded by Vanessa, another person involved in the overthrow of the Lawrence clan. And yet Eula is a member of said knightly order. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure how their interaction would really go. Whether they'd be at each other's throats, or sharing drinks. Well, I guess I'll have to wait and see if they have any major interactions down the line. Because right now I'm just speculating.
I still have a lot to do with the guild. How about you take a rest while I go back?
Okay, here we go. Ah, Amber.
Oh, hey, Eula. I see you've met the honorary knight.
We meet again, Amber. Seems we're just bound to run into you these days.
Well, I just got back and was thinking about grabbing a bite at Good Hunter. But now that you're here, why don't we all eat together?
Very well. It's been some time since we've last shared a meal together. Come, take a seat. We can discuss my uncle's gift while we eat.
Very well then.
Yes? Is there something else you'd like to order?
Could you please prepare a serving of my uncle's favorite, gebratenes Fleisch mit Sauerkraut? We'll take it as a gift to him later.
Coming right up. It'll take some time to prepare. I'll have it here at the counter once it's ready.
Hold on a moment. Is this satisfying salad also something that Amber ordered?
No, she didn't order it. But because she didn't order any vegetables, I thought I'd throw in a salad on the house. You know, to contrast all the meat dishes.
So, we clearly didn't order this, yet you prepared it without authorization. Mark my words, this transgression will not go unnoticed.
Transgression. She gave it to you for free. And didn't you yourself just refer to it as a satisfying salad? Meaning you should count it as a gift. Okay. Like, on the one hand, I can kind of understand the notion of not wanting to be indebted to anyone. Therefore, being given something for free would rankle someone who didn't want to feel like they owed anybody anything, but I don't see this particular motive for revenge, Eula.
You're gonna take revenge on her for giving us a free salad?
You should know me by now. That's the kind of villainous character I am. Well then, please wait a moment while I get the dish for your uncle started.
Delicious unauthorized delicacies. Sarah will pay for this.
Why
Really?
would you choose gebratenes Fleisch mit Sauerkraut as a gift for your uncle? Paimon's never even heard that dish before.
This dish isn't actually on Good Hunter's menu. Only long-standing patrons such as my uncle would know about the dish. The old aristocrats seem to take a liking to it.
Because of the sour flavor of the sauerkraut, not too many people are fond of it these days. I guess it's become less popular over time. Eula treated me to the dish once, and I couldn't even finish a bite. I've nicknamed it gebratenes Fleisch mit Vengeance ever since. Ugh.
I never expected us to have such completely different tastes in food. If I weren't in such a good mood, I'd say that constitutes grounds for transgression.
So, you're on somewhat friendly terms with Amber, but even she isn't above being the target of your revenge?
Of course not. It's hard to find someone in Mondstadt that attracts contempt as much as she does.
It's fine when you're just joking between us, but I'm afraid our honorary knight might misunderstand you. Eula's always talking about vengeance, but that's just how she is. It's nothing you should take too seriously.
But I am serious, and I'll remember every transgression committed against me. Ugh, it's no wonder so many people dislike you.
Paimon's starting to realize that Eula is actually a very good person. There's no need to be so awkward when you want to say something nice.
Listen, you've never been labeled as a social pariah, have you?
Well, no.
Understand how hard it is for a bad person to try to be good. It's impossible for me, and I have no intention of acting like a good person. All right, no need to look so sullen. I'm just kidding. Come on, let's eat. The food is getting cold.
Oh, I'm stuffed. I'll see Sarah about the bill.
No need. I've left the mora under the plate. If you try to settle it with her in person, she won't accept payment for the salad. Don't underestimate my ability to exact revenge. Sarah won't get the upper hand this time. All right, next you should pay my uncle a visit. He has a small camp at the top of the mountain near Springvale. He usually whiles his time away there when there's nothing else to do.
Aren't you coming with us, Eula?
I'm afraid that wouldn't be very convenient for me. It'd be better if you two went alone. Ah, yes. Please do remember to pick up the dish from Sarah.
I still have more recon to do in the wilderness. Well, until next time.
Let's meet again. What an interesting bunch you are.
I see.
Here, the gebratenes Fleisch mit Sauerkraut is ready to go. Be sure to eat it while it's hot, otherwise the flavor will be spoiled. And by the way, don't worry too much when Eula says strange things. She's actually a very good person.
Well, she did join the Knights. And Jean certainly... Well, she's not opposed to her. And the fact that they let Eula in would speak highly of her, or at least so one would assume.
No one could stand the sight of Eula when she was trying to speak with the others in Mondstadt earlier. But she seemed to get along fine with you and Amber just now. What's up with that?
The people of Mondstadt don't take kindly to anyone bearing the Lawrence name. They are unable to see past her family, therefore they don't actually see Eula for herself. So no matter what Eula tries to do, it's seen as a wrongdoing. It essentially strips the meaning of anything she tries to accomplish.
Alas, there is long history and bad blood getting in the way of Eula trying to befriend anyone outside her family.
How come you're able to see Eula differently then?
Well, many people signed a petition demanding that the Knights reverse their decision. At the same time, numerous members of the Lawrence clan crowded the entrance of the Knights of Favonia's headquarters, clamoring for Eula to give an explanation.
Whoa, so both sides were unhappy.
That's right. So you can imagine how determined Eula must have been under such circumstances. But thanks to Grandmaster Varka and the unwavering attitudes of others in the Knights of Favonius, they were able to quell the unrest. Tensions still remain beneath the surface, I'm afraid. In the eyes of the people, she's a stain on the Knights of Favonius, and in the eyes of the Lawrence clan, she's a disgrace to her family. But she simply fulfills her duty as a knight, silently helping one person after another, myself included. People like Eula should be approached with care and understanding. She could stand to be treated a little more fairly.
If only there were more people like you. I tend to hold to the notion that everyone ought to be judged by their actions, not by their kin.
I believe a day will come when things will get better.
Once everything's settled, we should go talk to Eula again. Paimon thinks we know how to communicate with her now.
I'm glad. I think that would make her very happy, though she might not ever admit it. Take care. Please come again.
And we have another lengthy trip to make. So, be right back again. So, after a little hike, we've arrived at Schubert's favorite little hidey hole. But something tells me that even if we did make full use of the proper decorum and etiquette of his house, as Eula tried to teach us, he's still not going to like us. So this is probably still going to get us nowhere. Not unless someone comes in to twist his arm, anyway. But we'll see.
The tent seems to be pretty tattered, but there's a really fancy chair. Could this be another aristocratic custom?
Ah, it's you again. I thought I had rid myself of you two.
Please, if I may be so bold as to say a few humble words.
A few humble words, huh? Yes, that sounds appropriate enough. Very well. I'm certainly not one to be narrow-minded. I'll overlook your previous misconduct for now and listen to what you have to say.
Wow, this guy thinks so highly of himself.
Okay. Really going to lay it on thick here, I guess. It is an honor to stand before you here, immersed in your supreme brilliance.
It appears I have misjudged you. Supreme brilliance. The glory of the nobility that continues to this day. A true loyalist. Impressive. My intentions were to test your humility. It appears you have become well versed in our etiquette.
Oh, so he was testing us. Sheesh, what an ordeal.
Your conduct is satisfactory. I must say, such progress in such a short time is practically unfathomable.
I wonder why you find the idea unfathomable. And if I were to tell you that I got this instruction from Eula specifically, I suspect that your new appreciation of me would deflate rather quickly.
If I may ask, from whence did you learn such a civilized manner of speech?
I refined my conduct with some instruction in the classics, courtesy of a dear friend.
Ah, good. Very good. You are bright, and compared with the common folk of Mondstadt, you certainly have potential. If you were of aristocratic blood, your prospects would be promising indeed.
By the way, we brought a gift. Paimon means we would like to present you with a small token of our goodwill.
Could this be? Gebratenes Fleisch mit Sauerkraut? It's evident that your sentiment is genuine. As a young person nowadays, only with no small effort could you achieve such a dish. It's been so long since I dug into a big, tasty... I beg your pardon. What I mean to say is, since it's nearly mealtime, I shall partake. Ah, yes, this aroma, just as I remember it, and this exquisite sour flavor. A delicacy that only us noblemen and women could appreciate.
Now even Paimon's starting to wonder what it tastes like.
I acknowledge your genuine goodwill. Such sincerity must certainly imply that you come bearing a request.
It seems there's word that the Lawrence family has a grand scheme of sorts.
Wait, so you've come to know of this, too? It was meant to be a family secret.
I wish to lend you a helping hand. Or perhaps I should go with, I would like to do what I can for the nobility.
Well, considering your meticulous etiquette, you must be a talent of unusual fortitude. I'm willing to place my full trust in you. Please, come with me. We happen to be in need of competent fellows like yourself.
And where are we going?
To see some friends from a distant land. They have offered their assistance in restoring the Lawrence clan to its former glory.
So he trusts us solely based on your etiquette.
Perhaps this is what the old aristocrats see as most important. Considering all the emphasis they place on it, I think that's a fair assessment.
Well then, let's understand everything in due course.
Do you think his friends are the Fatui? Things will get sticky if the Fatui happen to recognize you. What should we do?
Well... Yep, this could go wrong in a number of different ways. So we'll have to see how this unfolds. Let me get rid of you first.
The night is cold.
Shudder!
Okay. Oh.
Crush!
And the Whopper Flower wants in too, it seems.
Shudder! Rack and ruin!
Okay, that's one less annoyance to get in the way. Now then, Shubert. Oh, looks like we're heading straight into a domain. Well, this'll be interesting. Behind enemy lines. What an ominous name for it, too. Level 88 recommendation. Rather scanty on the individual rewards. But this is part of a larger quest, after all. And there's doubtless going to be some other goods to be found in here.
Huh? Why have you put on a mask all of a sudden?
It is only proper for aristocrats to wear a mask.
Even if they are powerful, our status is much higher than theirs in the land of Mondstadt. And therefore we shouldn't allow them to admire our true faces so easily. I see.
Good thinking. Paimon thought for sure they'd recognize us.
Let's proceed, shall we? I'll introduce you as my guest.
Of course,
As
the
you'll see in a
simple
moment,
mask.
there are many already helping us. I heard that this area had already been purged once by the Knights of Favonius, but it's the only place around Mondstadt that is well concealed and spacious enough. Although it has fallen into disrepair and does not suit the tastes of the nobility, we simply have to make do for now.
Sorry, can we walk any faster?
Of course not. An aristocrat always moves with grace in his steps. Moving hurriedly is unacceptable.
And besides, this gives us an opportunity to point out how ridiculous our disguise actually is. It's just a little mask over our eyes. It does nothing to conceal the rest of our face.
As expected.
Because we always see them around the city. They must be very powerful.
Huh. Nothing more than foreign ruffians with power and the ability to flaunt it. But they are favorable business partners.
Let's see.
Hold it right there! Who's this?
How exactly do you not know me? I'm literally wearing one of the silliest get-ups in the game. I have long blonde hair with a plaited ponytail. How do you not recognize me? Mask or not?
If you really must know, they're my guests. If you happen to offend them in even the slightest, then you will be held accountable by the Lawrence clan.
But this matter is of utmost secrecy. We must exercise caution.
You dare question the ways of a nobleman? I don't have time for this. Make way.
No need to sound all high and mighty like that. Fine. You may proceed.
You have no notion of who the Lawrences are, if you would be dare to say that.
Of course. That is the benefit of prestige. In past times, it would be a dire offense to speak to a nobleman in such a manner. We could determine a person's fate with the blink of an eye. Huh. And such glory will return to me again before long.
That's a lot of fire.
Where have I seen this person before?
And who, may I ask, is this? We mustn't bring just anyone in here.
This is our new ally that I've recently met. They are completely trustworthy. You have the word of the Lawrence clan.
It's a pleasure to
Our
meet
plans
you.
are strictly confidential. It's not wise to bring in an outsider at this time. Furthermore, there's been word that an outlander who joined the Knights of Favonius has been very active in Mondstadt recently.
Don't be ridiculous. Besides, my guest is well versed in the etiquette of the nobility. I must treat them with the proper mutual respect. The Knights of Favonius pay no regard to such details. They could never understand the intricacies of our etiquette.
And what about this thing?
You mean Paimon?
Enough!
Oh,
You
no.
dare question my word? Need I remind you who it is who has made your activity in Mondstadt possible? Without the support of the Lawrence clan, you would have all been driven out by the Knights of Favonius like dogs. You must immediately offer your sincerest apologies to my friend. You've offended their honor.
Fine. I'll take your word and make no further inquiries. Now, to the matter at hand. Did you bring the diagram of Mondstadt's defenses as promised?
Oh, so that's what's going on here.
Yes, of course. Here it is.
Let me see. Huh. Why is it so poorly drawn? Everything's so squiggly and crooked. And what is this shape supposed to be?
Excuse me? I'll have you know that I went to great lengths to carefully draw this map by hand myself. That shape is the symbol of the Knights of Favonius.
Huh, I see. Crude, but I can make do. Are you able to verify that this is all reliable information?
Of course, you needn't worry about that. Don't forget what we agreed upon. The flag of the Lawrence clan will fly above the Knights of Favonius headquarters. The rights to that building, as well as the whole of Mondstadt, belong to the Lawrence clan.
Yes, we will both profit from this agreement. There's no use haggling over the details. We will make good use of the intel you provided. Also, be certain not to divulge our identity. There would be diplomatic consequences, you know.
Don't worry, this matter is only between you and I. And my new friend here. No one else will know of it. Once this is over, I shall stand atop the Favonius headquarters and rebuke their pathetic rule over Mondstadt. Then, the city and all its people will once again be under the rightful and unwavering rule of the Lawrence clan. Perfect. Just as it once was, and just as it should be.
May I remind you once again that we mustn't act rashly. That is all, for now.
Very well, then. This has been a most informative meeting.
Very well.
Huh? What are you doing?
No need to keep up appearances.
That's right! It's the honorary knight and their trusty companion Paimon! We're here to crush your evil schemes into dust!
I think they got the
So
message,
this was all
Paimon.
just a ploy to deceive me!
It's your own fault! Who would put so much trust in someone based purely on their manners?
After so much planning, this is how it ends? Huh? We'll see about that!
Just as I expected. I knew I should have never trusted these foolish aristocrats. No matter, we already have the intel we need. Get them!
Would them include Shubert?
Paimon remembers that this place is a dead end. Let's take care of the Fatui first and then deal with Shubert later.
Okay.
Killjoy! We've only just begun. Looks like I went too far.
The night is cold.
Burn!
Crush!
This is bad.
The door is open. Let's go.
Nope. Yep, not gonna let me go after them right now, I see. So, Shubert. Oh. Looks like Eula followed us. And brought a few of the knights
Don't
with
touch me!
her.
Get out of my way! I'll leave on my own!
It seems we finally caught up with you. This place is crawling with Fatui. Oh, it's you. It seems your investigation went well.
It was all worth it.
Aha! I see now. So you're the one that taught them our etiquette. And I thought you despised such pleasantries.
Doesn't mean she wasn't forced to learn them. Or didn't know how to use them
Furthermore,
against
there is a
you.
rule in our family. Such traditions are never to be taught to outsiders.
Ah yes, rings a bell.
Hmm.
So what? I had no reason not to teach them.
You have brought shame to our family and ruined my plans. It's all for naught now.
I know that you poured great efforts into these plans, Uncle. But you were well aware that it was not the right thing to do. As a Knight of Favonius, I could not overlook your actions.
Knight of Favonius? Let's get one thing straight. I am your uncle, and you are a member of the Lawrence clan. You should strive to restore your family's glory. You still have a chance. Defeat every Knight of Favonius here, and leave with me. Then I shall plead with the family to spare you and give you a new beginning.
So just to be clear, you want a Knight of Favonius to attack the Knights of Favonius?
I shall say this one last time. You are not a Knight of Favonius. You are a descendant of the Lawrence clan. The blood of the Lawrence clan flows in your veins. You must comply with the will of the family.
Since when have I ever complied with the will of the family?
Truly made.
If anyone should be angry, it should be me. As a member of the Lawrence clan, you knowingly plotted against the city of Mondstadt and threatened its safety. Had you ever stopped to consider the trouble it would bring to so many people? Had you considered how many enemies you would make trying to keep the plans under wraps?
You dare lecture me?
That's right. In the name of the family that you so dearly revere, Uncle Shubert. I've never experienced the age of glory you always speak of. And I've never understood our family's incessant pursuit of it. But I am capable of discerning right from wrong, and I deeply understand what freedom means to the people of Mondstadt. The Lawrence clan should never and will never become what you've dreamed it to be.
Oh, the disgrace of it all! How could such a rebellious monster emerge from our own family?
Things are starting to get pretty hysterical here. Politeness and elegance seem to have gone out the window.
That's enough fuss for today. You two, take him away. The honorary knight and I have other matters to attend to. Given that you've already taken action, I assume you've come across some conclusive evidence?
The Fatui are in
Paimon
possession
took
of a
peek at the
diagram of
diagram.
Mondstadt's
Your uncle had
defenses.
mapped out all of the Knight's patrol routes and marked out key information about Mondstadt.
And there was me thinking that he was just another elder of the family. And a lazy one at that. I never suspected he could stoop this low. So stubborn. Mark my words, vengeance will be mine. Let's discuss this later. Our first priority is recovering that diagram.
Yes. Destroying this little den of the Fatui is a good place to start. Ah, I see. I was curious about how they would handle this. Yeah, I had Eula in my party to begin with, so I was curious, because this, I figured this was going to be a test run of sorts for her. So I was wondering how exactly it was going to work. And the answer is what you see. They replaced my Eula with their version of her. And alas, I can't really... Or can I? Ah, I can actually check. Okay. 88 out of 90. I wonder why not a flat 90? Huh. They gave her a noblesse set rather than pale flame. Interesting. Oh well. Come on. Okay. Now that I've been thoroughly burned...
More speed.
They're here! Stop them!
I condemn you!
The night is cold.
Our bond is strong! Shudder!
10,000 on that hit. Well, I guess that's what happens when you give Eula her signature weapon. And also make her well into the 80s and level up her talents too.
You can't run! Well, you got don't be a killjoy! We've only just begun!
More speed!
Miscalculated.
Shudder!
You need to hurry up!
Beg for mercy!
This was well done!
The night is cold.
Our bond is strong!
You
Crush!
need to hurry up! This was well done!
Eye for an eye!
You need to hurry up!
Okay, I still... Without a Hydro unit, these guys are really annoying.
Beg for mercy!
You need to hurry up!
Stand with me! Crush!
This was well done!
My guiding stars.
An unfortunate fault!
Nope, more of you, eh?
Dissipate! I'll settle
In
this!
this quickly!
The night is cold. Don't be scared.
Retribution!
This is bad!
Freeze to the core! Beg for mercy!
I guess this is it.
And down they go. Okay. Anything interesting about here?
More speed.
Certainly a large place, but it doesn't seem like there's much to do or find here. Then again, you're not supposed to spend too much time in this domain, as opposed to seeing the story through to its conclusion. Okay. Oh, it was an elevator, okay.
That's where they put the diagram!
Trapped us here, huh? I guess there's no other option but to fight. What is this? You dare provoke me! Fatui, come forth and dispose of them!
Crush! More speed. Shudder!
That's the main assassin dealt with.
The night is cold.
Rack and ruin! Beg for mercy.
Counterattack! Finally.
This must be it. They may very well have
Okay.
already made a copy of it. But without my uncle as their puppet, there'd be no use in them attacking the city.
The Fatui wouldn't have relied only on your uncle.
I wouldn't be so sure of that.
True. But if their plan had hinged purely on taking Mondstadt by force, as opposed to with the help of a puppet, they could have spared themselves the trouble. The Fatui are dishonest, but they wouldn't go as far as to start an open war. Their opposition wouldn't just be Mondstadt alone. Anyway,
That
I'll
would be
inform the
putting
acting
the cart
Grandmaster.
before the horse.
She'll know
as
how to
it
handle
were.
things from here.
Oh yeah! You
By
said
the
we
way,
appeared
why
at
did
just
you
the right
follow
moment.
us here?
Yeah, about that. Because you stole my targets by attacking the Fatui I'd been tracking earlier.
Vengeance.
I came to exact my vengeance.
Yeah, vengeance
You
like
tried
I
to do my
thought.
job for me, and I'm here to return the favor.
Finally!
Yes, we're
after
even
all this
now,
time, Paimon
right?
understands what you're saying. In reality, you sensed that something might happen to us during our investigation. You were worried about us and your uncle, so you brought a team to take a look.
My purpose was vengeance. Don't twist the story. You don't look too bright, but it turns out you have a knack for scheming. And mark my words, I'll remember that.
Hey, what do you mean Paimon doesn't look too bright?
You have seeded a deep enmity between us. Just you wait. Even if you were to be completely destroyed, I would never forget you.
I see. So, does that make us your arch enemies?
I like your fighting spirit. I'll take this diagram back to the Knights of Favonius and take it from here.
Sure. Well, see you around.
That you will. And make sure not to steal my targets next time.
Oh, quest completed. Alright then. Ooh, 60 primos. Nice. And even more precious chest. Before I depart, I'll make sure that Kuki manages to heal up a little. It's the only thing I'm not fond of about Kuki's design. At least her design in terms of gameplay. I'm not overly fond of bright green hair. On anybody, frankly. But, apart from my dislike of the color, well, like the rest of her design, aesthetically. As far as the gameplay goes, I do kinda wish it didn't sap away her health the way it does, but I understand she's a 4-star and they had to come up with some way of balancing it. But, all the same, a little annoying at times. Oh well. Let's double check. Okay, got a lot of story quests left to do. But I'm not seeing Eula's story quest here anymore. Oh well. I suppose with that, we'll call this the end of this episode. Having gone on a little misadventure with Eula.